In just a few hours, some of the most influential people in the nation will be in Atlanta to pay tribute to former First Lady Rosalynn Carter.
Mrs. Carter, the lifelong partner and confidant of President Jimmy Carter, died on November 19th at 96 years old. They were married for 77 years. The former president will be among high-profile lists of guests attending today's tribute service at Glenn Memorial Church at Emory University, along with President Joe Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden. Several other former First Ladies are also expected to attend.
We have team coverage for you this morning. Let's begin with NBC's Bree Jackson with more on today's special guest that will be here. Good morning, Bree.
Perhaps the most important guest we could see today is the love of Rosalynn's life, former President Jimmy Carter. Her husband of 77 years, who entered hospice care earlier this year, is expected to attend today's ceremony. And the Carter Center says that the couple's grandchildren and great-grandchildren will read some of her favorite scripture passages. Now, some of the other expected guests today include President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, along with their spouses, as well as former President Bill Clinton. And we expect to see every living First Lady show up to pay their respects today, from Laura Bush to Dr. Jill Biden. Today's tribute service is only for invited family and friends, but the public will be able to watch online.
All right, I know a lot of people will be wanting to be a part of that in whatever way they can. 11 Alive's Christy Diaz joins us now from the Carter Center with more from today's service at Glenn Memorial Church in Emory. Good morning, Christy.
Good morning, Cheryl. After 24 hours of public events where people who don't know Mrs. Carter were able to pay their respects, today's service is private. It's for that inner circle, the people who knew and loved Mrs. Carter the most. One of the people who will be at the tribute today and plans to speak is longtime aide and good friend Kathy Cade. She has known the Carters for more than 50 years. She was on Mrs. Carter's staff in the White House when she was First Lady, co-wrote at least 2 books with Mrs. Carter, and now serves as vice chair of the Carter Center board. She is also an advisor to journalists in the Mental Health Fellowship. When Kathy and I spoke, she said both President and Mrs. Carter were very private people, despite all of the appearances and love they show the community and world. She says she feels sure that President Carter's faith is guiding him through his grief right now.
Their faith is is central to who they are and how they deal with everything that happens in their lives. And so I am sure that his pastor has been with him, and I'm sure that he's having his private conversations with God. I know that the family is all there and around him, and I think that's what gives him comfort. I also think that he really wanted to live to make sure that he was there to take care of her until the end. And I think he did that.
It absolutely makes sense with everything we know about them as a couple and their love for each other. After 77 years, you will hear much more from the unique perspective of Kathy Cade, being an advisor and then very close inner circle friend to the Carters. You'll hear that tomorrow on 11 Alive Morning News. Cheryl.
Christy, so powerful to hear that maybe former President Carter willed himself to be with her in those final moments, and he was holding her hand as she took that final breath. Really powerful, Christy. Thank you so much. For the first full details on other ceremonies, including ways that you can personally pay your respects to the former First Lady, just text the word Carter to 404-885-7600. We'll send the details right to your phone.
And you can watch the full ceremony this afternoon live, starting at 1 p.m. live on 11 Alive Plus and on the 11 Alive YouTube channel. We are also going to have full coverage for you here on air.